morning and welcome to episode 3 of the World War II plane wreck series. We're back in the Peak District again this morning. Another lovely day. Sun's out, sky's blue. It is noticeably cooler than the past couple of weeks when I've been out. Autumn is definitely in the air, I think, this morning. We're in a similar area to where we were last week, and at the minute I'm just walking down the Transpennine Trail and we're heading for Shining Clough. We're going to head up Shining Clough and up onto Birchin Bank Moor, and that's where the plane wreck site is. And then we're going to work our way across and come back down near Black Clough, which is where we came down on the last video, although we might do something slightly different with the descent this time, depending on how much time we've got and how I'm feeling. So now this big puddle. This particular crash site, I've been looking at pictures and things of it. It doesn't look like there's a tremendous amount left of it, but it's one of those aircraft where when you're doing a series about World War II plane crashes, you can't cover this aircraft, and that's the Wellington bomber. It's kind of one of the big four, if you like, when you think of World War II British aircraft. You've got Spitfire, you've got Hurricane, you've got Lancaster bomber, and you've got Wellington bomber. The Wellington's what we're going to go up and see today. So, like I say, we're on our way to Shining Clough. When we find the entrance to that, I'll bring you back. Right, we made it into the clough. So that was a bit of a mission, is a bit of an understatement. Again, it's one of those where they're into path marks on the map, so you can just picking your way through. And definitely not many people come up here at all, I wouldn't say. But now I'm in there, just spin you around, and you can just about make out a path down the right hand side of the stream. Right, well, I may or may not have moved here. Let me swing around. There's a fairly big waterfall just up ahead, and from down here can't really see a way around it. I knew on the map that it looked really craggy around here, but I just assumed, as you kind of do, that there would be some sort of way around. But we'll carry on up for now and reassess when we get a bit closer. Well, that is definitely a challenging route up here. Still not quite sure whether I can get around this waterfall or not. There may be something up off to the left that I can scramble round, or I might have to go up out the gully and round it. I'm not sure yet. It's only just up there, so we'll get right up to the top. Now we're here, it'd be a shame not to get right up to underneath the waterfall. have a bit of a look and then figure out which way to go. Ah, there we go, made it. Yeah, to say that's a challenging route up to an understatement. Whether it's any easier a bit earlier in the year or a bit later on in the year when there isn't quite so much vegetation about, maybe, but even then it's still really steep and slippy. But yeah, really good fun. And actually pretty worth it. Pretty impressive waterfall. So, I'm definitely not climbing up there though. So I think looking at it, there's a bit of a path behind me just up there. Bit of a scramble up and out, and then over around the top. So, yeah, have 5 minutes here, enjoy the waterfall, and then we'll crack on. Right, we made it up and out. That was interesting, shall we say. Didn't film any of it. I had to put the camera away. It was just too steep. I needed both hands. So yeah, would I recommend coming that way? Yeah, probably not, unless you're a really confident climber and scrambler. I won't come up that way. Yeah, the waterfalls are great, and there's actually more of them than I was able to film and show you, but you can't I can't get up to them. That was a real sort of steep and wet, loose climb out of the cliff. I don't know how well you can see that behind me. It's really steep on the sides. I had to go quite a way around the corner to be able to get out and up to the top. But we're all good. We made it out in one piece, up at the top of the cliff. There is a bit of a path that runs across the top of these now, so I'm going to jump onto there. Head over onto Birchie Bank Moss, over that way, and then when we get a bit closer we'll get the GPS coordinates put into the phone, see if we can find this Wellington bomber. Right, well, it tends to happen in the Peak District a lot of the time. The path that I started following turned into a peat gruff and then just pretty much disappeared. But I have found another one, which looks like a bit of a access path to the quad bikes for grouse shooting season, because there's loads of grouse spots kicking about around here. So that's made life a little bit easier. So I've just nipped across Stable Clough, and seems to be a whole little network of these quad bike tracks kicking around, and a series of grouse spots all the way along it. So they're headed in roughly the right direction, and it certainly makes walking a heck of a lot easier. So we'll carry on along here for a bit, and hopefully it'll get us closer before we have to go yomping off through the heather again. Lots of this kind of work being done as well in the Peak District over the last few years. Seen all the peat gruffs as these little stone dams that have been put in, basically just to slow the water down and hold it back a little bit, stop it washing the peat away off the top, and helping to keep the peat in the moorland itself wet. I think I've just spotted where the crash site is. Don't know how well that's coming across on the camera, you probably can't see it, but there is a little memorial cross with the wreckage. I think that's what I can see just in sticking up in the distance over there. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Found it. Right, here we are. Crash site of Vickers Armstrong Wellington. Like I said at the beginning of the video, from the pictures that I've seen, I knew there weren't an awful lot left. There really isn't at this one. Some tiny bits and pieces and fragments. I think a lot of the problem is, obviously, it's been up here a long time, it's exposed to the weather and the landscape as well around here. It's just so dynamic. The heavy rain, the peat gets washed away, and the wreckage is so light that it just disappears really easily. The Vickers Armstrong Wellington was a long-range twin-engined medium bomber. It was designed by Vickers Armstrong's chief designer Rex Pearson. A key feature of the aircraft was its geodetic airframe, which was principally designed by Barnes Wallis. The Wellington was introduced in 1938 and saw service right through the Second World War until it was finally retired in 1953. Wellington R1011 crashed during a training exercise on 30th of January 1943. She crashed into Birchenbank Moss in poor visibility, killing 3 of the 5-man crew. Flight Lieutenant Anthony Winterlane, Pilot Officer Charles Douglas Brown, and Sergeant Raymond Gerard Rouse were all tragically killed. Pilot Officer Grisdale and Sergeant Miller were injured but amazingly survived the crash. Right, so we're heading off away from the crash site now. Just making our way across Birchenbank and over to near Black Clough, where we descended down last week. So I think I'm going to have a look, may regret it, but I'll have a look instead of following the top path down like I did last week. We'll actually stay down by the watercourse and see if we can follow that down to the bottom. Might just make life a little bit more interesting. Yeah, so not much left of the Wellington at all. It's amazing really that such a big aircraft could just disappear completely like that, but I suppose it's just time and environment and weather and the landscape have just reclaimed it. Well, I just turned the camera off there, typically, to filming that last piece, and the biggest hair I've ever seen in my life just shot out from under my feet. Absolutely pooped myself. I must have been literally stood nearly right on top of it until it bolted away. Oh, just a shame I turned the camera off. Well, we've made it back into near Black Clough. Unfortunately, I've come onto it, I think too far down the clough to actually get down to the watercourse. I was thinking I'd hit it further up where it was a lot more level, but as you can see the sides are pretty steep just at this bit, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get down into the bottom, but we'll have a look further down. I can't remember whether there was any kind of little ways down or anything. If there is, I'll have a go. If not, then we'll just have to do the same route that we did last week. Yeah, I'm not going to attempt climbing down into there now. I've already had a little bit of poo come out twice already today. I think that's probably quite enough for one day. Once when I was climbing out of the waterfall at Shining Clough, and then the other time when that hair shot out from underneath my feet. So yeah, and I'm sort of looking down into the clough as well. There's not a lot of room to manoeuvre at the side of the stream, so I don't think I'd actually be able to pick my way down here anyway. The last thing I want to do is get down there, find I can't get down the stream, and have to do some silly scramble back up again. So yeah, we'll just follow the path, eh? I have to say this this lower section where all the middle fluffs kind of come together. Absolutely beautiful. It's got sort of tracked back up again from where the path drops you off. Followed it up kind of about halfway to where I was last week, where middle black bluff kind of goes off. But, yeah, really pretty little spot. Far to go now before I'm back at the car. Another great morning out. Shining Clough was definitely a challenge. Would I recommend going up there? If you want to go up there and have a look at the waterfall, then yeah, crack on, go for it. But I don't think I could recommend it as a way of getting up onto the top from there. That's last bit of a scramble from the waterfall up. Really steep and pretty sketchy, to be honest, so I'll probably give that one a miss. Probably a better way to actually get up onto the craft site is via Stable Clough. Seems like there's a bit of an access craft up there to the shooting with the quad bikes and everything, so probably want to do is go and see the craft site, and I would say that's the way to go. Yeah, it's been a really nice day again, really enjoyed it. Another one that we've managed to find. The iconic Wellington, really. Yeah, same old message really if you do decide to visit any of these sites, as I've said before. The air crews did lose their lives. I think it was 3 of the crew of Wellington on that one actually died in the crash, and the rest survived bravely. So yeah, just treat the sites with respect. As I've said before, don't take any of the wreckage away. Don't leave any litter or anything. Just treat the area with the respect that it deserves. Thanks once again for watching. If you're enjoying the series, then drop us a comment, drop us a like, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again next time.